Are we back? Are we alive? Are we on the air?
Yes, we
You
are.
gave me the number, dude. Welcome back, everyone, to a new year, and it's a new episode of Watch Closely. Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, it's been a while, bro. I gotta introduce this man right here. He's not like a Pokemon, but Pop. Is that you?
In the saggy flesh.
That was good. That was good. Ernie, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good. Happy 2025 to you and your family.
Thank you. You as well, man. It's been a minute. It's been a while. It's been longer than a minute, right? I don't even know when we stopped, but we had to, and now we're
It
back.
was yeah, dude. The holidays were fun, but we it was brutal. It was brutal times. Got to get everything wrapped, but it was good. I think we had a good. It was a crazy 2024 in general, but I'm excited for the new year, bro. I don't know about you.
I am too. It kind of feels like sort of a reset, right? I mean, it's not. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, New Year's resolutions" or whatever, but it genuinely feels like the year of reset. Like you can do a lot of things that you
Yeah,
didn't start prior to the last year, which is silly, but I don't know. I like it. Like I've made a few resolutions, which are pretty cool, and I've been kind of sticking to them pretty well.
oh
How
yeah,
about you? Yeah, I have. I was well, if I may get into
sure,
this.
sure.
Thank you. I love sharing. Share with the class. So I decided to read a book a month. I was gonna do more, but I'm like, let's just start off with one. Just
Oh,
I don't know if I'll be
nice.
able to like read every day. And I have. I started with one book, which I'm like 16 chapters in. I think I forget how many chapters it is. I haven't checked, but
Now,
it's
does
like
it have
the
to be any book, or is it like fictional or self help, or like did you pick a genre, or is this
no. It's
whatever?
just whatever. It's just it has to be a book. Like this book, I think is like
This has
it's got
words on
it's
the
got
page.
yeah, dude. It's a ton of. Dude, I would have to look up how long it is, but I know for a fact it's a pretty long book. But I think it just as long as it's something that I'm enjoying. I'm reading right now, Fever Dream by Guillermo del Toro. No, wait, not Guillermo. Who's the guy that did? Oh, George Railroad Martin.
Okay,
Game of Thrones, right?
right.
So I'm reading a book that he made. I'm not sure when it came out, but I'm reading that one. It's really solid.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, chapter 16, and then I think the next books I want to read are Dune one,
Oh,
Dune
there's like
part
6 of
one. I
those,
think
right?
yeah,
I
there's
think
a
there's.
lot, but I don't think I'm gonna get through all of them. I think I'm gonna stop at Messiah, which is I think the third one or the
Mhm.
second. I gotta double check. I don't know my Dune books, but I definitely want to start with the first one, and then after that, I don't know what I'm gonna read. I'm just kind of like going with the flow, and then seeing. Well, might read Sandman. I heard that one's pretty good. The one that's on Netflix, the show, right? I think it's a book
Oh, right.
too.
Yeah, the show was cool. I watched the show, but I haven't read the book.
But yeah, what
That's
about you?
cool, bro.
Any resolutions for you?
And I didn't specifically do any resolutions, but just in general, it's just like the holidays are filled with candies and cakes and sweets, and so it's kind of like getting back to vegetables
Yeah.
and protein and energy drinks. Shout out to energy drinks.
Okay.
My wife got hooked on these. They're called Alani's energy drink. I don't know why. To me it just tastes like melted down Sour Patch or
Yeah.
it's called Cosmic Stardust or something like that. I don't
Oh,
know.
interesting.
It's all right, but I've been doing this kind of a weird fast type of thing. I don't know if you've ever done fasting where so like I stop eating after dinner and I don't eat again until for like 20 hours and then I go back to like at
Wowzers.
2 o'clock. That's like I can eat. It's worked out. I've
Dang,
done it for like
that's
10
good.
days so far. It's
Yeah.
not it's not terrible. You just got to eat a lot for dinner so that you're not starving all the way through.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I feel you. Because
right.
then you get to a certain point, like, well, you sleep late. I do as well. Like I sleep like at 1 right in the morning,
Yeah.
and during like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., something like that, when my wife gets off of work, I get like I want snacks, like I want something. Like I have
Yeah.
like a craving for something, and because I do the same, I stop eating after 6, and I don't eat again until like 12 or 1. It really depends on
Oh,
how busy I get throughout the morning. Because I know
you're
I
pretty
know
much
you
doing
asked
what I'm
me.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you asked me, but yeah, I do it too. I mean, some days vary because like the wife and the kid are like, let's go get breakfast, so we'll go get something. It's like not, I can't be like, no, I'm
Right. You're
not
like,
eating. It's like
you
so.
enjoy your breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll enjoy my breakfast here and again. The one thing I do allow myself to have in the mornings besides eating is just a coffee. So I'll have a coffee and I won't eat the whole time.
Yeah, I've been doing because like plain old black coffee doesn't break the fast, so I've been doing
Yeah,
just plain coffee. It's a little weird because I'm used to like
yeah, you want that creamer,
doctoring it
right?
up, yeah.
Yeah, of course, dude. What,
But it's
what do we call that? The Americano? No, I think it's something
or
like
it's
that. Where
like
you
a cream and espresso. I think yeah, it's a what do they
I
call it?
thought the
Is it
Americano
Americano
was all black and just
or just a
nothing on it.
latte?
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, some coffee. That's the thing, though. I've been getting into coffee and creamers recently, and I've started drinking espresso drinks
Mhm.
or like a little stronger coffees, and I like that like like I forget. It's like burntish flavor. What's that called?
Like a dark roast or like
Dark
a
roast. Yeah, like dark roast. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I've been enjoying a dark roast, but like there's certain coffees you can just drink without anything on it, and then there's some that
yeah.
are just not very good. And so I found one
Yeah.
that I've stuck to that I really enjoy. But I bought another one that I have to just finish. You know when you just get a coffee that you're like, man, I don't care for this, but you just have it, so you got to finish it. I'm at that
Right.
point right now, and there's one that I want to get again that I really enjoyed, but I should be like you, right, where I do the subscription, or you did. Remember when you were trying different ones at one point?
Oh, right, right. And that, like it comes in the mail or whatever. Like you just try different ones.
That'd be cool, but
Um,
I don't know if I'm like at that point yet in my coffee drinking career. But yeah, it's good.
dude, I've gotten not like I'll still try. Like I still love trying different ones. I've been getting really into tea lately, actually. Like I kind of
Oh
go back
yeah,
and
I heard
forth.
teas are better. Yeah, for you.
Teas are good for like the nighttime. So like we'll usually have our meal, and I stop eating at 6, and so I'm like, I can have a tea. So I have like a little tea, a little warm tea for bed. So that's kind of fun to try different teas. Some of them are like, well, they're not as caffeine driven as like
Yeah,
coffee, but it usually doesn't keep me awake. But there's some good ones, bro. Some good
I don't
teas
know,
out
dude.
there.
I had a black coffee the other day that made me so jittery, and
Oh
it was one of our cousins. She works at a Starbucks and she had something, so she. I'm like, oh, she's a barista. I was gonna say that's how I just jokingly
yeah.
say it, but she's a barista, and she made me a coffee during our like little cousins giving thing that we were doing. And that got me jittery. And I was like, ooh, like felt like wired. But dude, I swear to you, as soon as I hit the bed, I was just like, I just passed out, dude. I was like, my body just knows, like, nah, just go to sleep, dude. Like I can't. I don't know. I was just really tired. Once I hit that bed, bro, it's
As
hard.
soon
Like,
as your head hits that pillow, bro, that's what
yeah,
it
I think,
is.
which is great. Like, I think my wife was telling me this. I don't know where she saw this or if this is true in any way. I believe her, but
Mhm.
she says that like you're not supposed to lay down in your bed because that is a place that is just for you to sleep in. And it's funny she's laying in bed right now; she's passed out. But you know what I mean? Like that's the place to just sleep. You don't just go in there and you're on your phone chilling. You know what I mean? You just go to
Oh,
bed
you mean
to
like
go
when
to
you're
bed.
not wanting to sleep? Like you shouldn't be like just
You
hanging
shouldn't
out
be
on your
on your
bed.
bed. Yeah, exactly. You should be
Oh,
somewhere else.
interesting.
And so, like, I don't know if that's true or not, but like like I said, once I hit that bed, like I've tried to because I try to catch up on things like reading the books or reading mangas or playing games in my bed with like the Steam Deck, bro, or on my phone watching YouTube
Until you get
videos
tired.
to do things for the podcast, or for our YouTube channel. And that was well before it was for when we were doing the podcast. I would watch videos, but bro, every time I would just have the phone, you're dangling above you, dude.
Yeah.
Every time it would just fall on my face, dude. Like the Steam Deck, I would be playing, bro. I would be watching, and then it would just fall on my head. Like the iPad Mini, fall on my head. The phone, dude. It was like I was like, dude, oh my gosh. And then my wife would be like, "What happened?" She's like, "Dude, go to sleep." She'd always just tell me, and I'm like, "Nah." And my eyes are all like, you know what I mean? I was like, "Go to sleep." And every
You
time,
just wake up with like the imprint of the Switch or the Steam Deck on your face. Just like the
dude,
controls are like smashed in one point.
the amount of times because like you want to game it or you want to do something like I love gaming, so one of the things like is like I'll try to like put it in even though I'm tired. I'll try to have like make time for it.
Yeah.
I'll have like what like I would just I'll sit on my chair and I'll be playing and I'll just pass out and I wake up and I have that controller in hand. I'm like, what happened? Like I don't know.
It's a decompress, right? It's kind of like your mind goes completely off whatever you were doing for the day, and you're just focused on that, on whatever you're playing. And dude, it is a way. Like I know people that don't game, like they're just
Escapism,
like,
I
what are you
think.
doing? Like you're spending all that time on game. It's like I unwind, like I can just unprocess, like I don't have to
Yeah,
think about it.
No, I know. I respect it, dude. I love gaming. I've not had people talk to me like that because I don't. I always try to be around people that like the same things I do. Usually, don't get me wrong. I get with people that don't like things, but like I don't have anyone that's like negative about my gaming. No one ever like has said like, "Oh, you gaming and you do this." I'm like, yeah, but like even if they did complain, I'd be like, well, I get my things done. It's not like I'm dropping my life to do
Right.
this, right? Like
Right.
my
This
kid
is
is
the
like
this is
this is
after
my
everything has
time.
been
Yeah,
checked
my
off, right?
kid's asleep or this is happening. Like I don't make it a point to like throw the world away just because I want to play games. Like no, no, no. Like we're still like I'm doing homework. I'm going to work. I'm like
Right.
I am earning my time if that makes that's you know what I mean. Like
That's so
that's
funny.
how I think of it.
You've always said that too. You've always been like that. It's like, dude, no, I got all my stuff done. And now I can game. Like I can't do it
Exactly.
till yeah. No one
Yeah,
can tell me I didn't
I
do my
don't
stuff.
feel comfortable if I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know where or why that's happened, but I know it started, and I was just like, man, I like I don't want to hear a beep. Like if I hear someone like
I don't
I've
want to hear
talked
a beep.
like I've
Yeah.
told my wife like I mean like God bless your soul, but I was like, dude, that's the one thing I don't want her to ever complain about is this. Like I
Yeah.
told her this would like bother me like seriously because I got like I said I do all my stuff. Like we're chilling. I shouldn't have to, but don't get me wrong. There's days where I get a little lazy. They don't do anything and just you know what I mean. But
It's like, I think every guy has has their own kind of thing. Like it could be gaming, it could be watching football or like playing sports or whatever it is. Like there are certain things that like it's just like guy time. It's not guy time, but it's like me time, right? Just like
yeah, yeah.
I just want to do this one little thing. And I think girls do the same thing. I think girls have certain whether it's scrolling through TikTok, which if we have it in the next couple days, I think
I think
what's your proposal, Ernie? I think it's staying. I think there's
Sell it to Mr. Beast.
oh the Mr. Beast, dude. He's got the offer.
Yeah,
He's
no,
got the
I saw
suitcase
that.
ready.
I also saw Kick put in an offer, which is the streaming service that
Oh, really?
a lot of people like. It's not the controversial people, but it's like the people who have been kicked out
Yeah.
of like YouTube and Twitch because of something that they said that they wasn't like part of, you know, the guidelines or whatever. A lot of people were going to Kick, I believe, and Kick like had put a post up there like we put in our thing. So I don't know. I mean, I from what I heard, Biden just said that he's gonna put a hold on it and he's like, oh, let the next president worry
He's
about it,
gonna
sort
kick
of
it
thing.
over to Trump. Yeah.
So
That's what I heard. I feel like I really don't think it's gonna go away. Like I don't know. I've always had this sense like it's just all drama and it's just not gonna go away. But we'll see. Because a lot of people's like livelihoods have become,
I know.
selling stuff on the platform or just the algorithm paying them for stuff. So it's crazy thinking. My favorite has been watching kind of like the goodbyes. Like oh TikTok's leaving. Oh
Oh, that's
remembering the good
funny.
old days, dude.
I thought
I love those.
I thought your favorite thing was gonna be the content creators crying. I thought that's what you were gonna say. You'd be like,
Oh, no, I
if
haven't
they're
seen any.
crying and they're losing their livelihood, they're just no,
I'm
yeah.
sure there's some of that too, but
No, there
just like
definitely is. I've seen it
yeah,
a few handful of
there's all
times
these
now.
there's been like these montages of like the best things from TikTok, and then there's been I don't know if you've seen the ones where it's like the spies like saying goodbye to the spies. It's like you guys
Oh
sent me
yeah,
the videos I wanted.
there was
And then
like
there was
what?
like one where the spy responds, right?
Yeah, there was one where like there was I don't know how they did it, but it's like AI, I think, and it was like this Asian guy, this the spy, and he's like next to them, like holding them, and like it's like stupid, silly stuff. And it's funny because like the whole spy Chinese thing, right? That's going on, the information stealing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I did the quotes, but you know what I'm talking about, and the air quotes. But like people ended up leaving TikTok for a bit and going to Red Note or whatever the you saw
Yeah,
however
the
you
other
say it
one.
in
Yeah.
Chinese, but it's like another TikTok. And people are like me, like making videos like me letting them steal my information. Good job, government. Things like that, like silly
Yeah.
stuff. And I was like, but yeah,
Dude, I love
I don't think
the
it's gonna get rid of it for sure. To answer your question, I don't think it's gonna sense it.
Yeah, me either, bro. I feel like it's we've
It
just
wouldn't
gotten
make
so
sense
used
otherwise.
to like this fast form info or video content that I feel like even if the platform dies, like something will crop up and take its place because I feel like this is just the way like we got so used
Vine
to it.
probably come again. I mean, Vine, if I'm not mistaken, I think
Oh yeah, but
Vine
Fine
is owned
Games
by
back.
Twitter, right? Or X now.
Yeah,
I think they're the ones that bought it and then they killed it. So do that.
yeah, it's just silly. We don't have to get into the politics of it, but I did like when the people were doing their channels about like I like if as if they were the spy and they were like Rebecca, I tried your recipe, it was not good. Or, like,
I have not
Sam,
seen that.
Sam, you should get some sleep. You've been up for too long. Just talking about all the people he's been spying
Yeah.
on. Anyway, we got to talk about
What's
2024,
this?
bro.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
What's this YouTube channel about, dude? Give the people who are coming back some sort of. We just kind of got into it. We're just watch closely, but if you don't
That's
know about the
true. We've
background, what are we?
Oh, you want to introduce the channel? Oh my
Introduce the
gosh.
channel,
It's been
dude.
like what? Like I don't even know how long we've been going for, but it's
I know,
uh
but like at this point, dude, this is probably we're gonna erase all that, come back just to this.
we're just gonna erase it. Nah, you gotta have like your random like thing of the week, right? Like you gotta talk about something before you get
Yeah, of
onto
course.
we'll have to come up with like a segment for it. But yeah, dude, let's get into 2024, dude. A crazy year for movies. I feel like overall, I feel it was kind of a weak year. You might feel differently, but we should get into like the top. Like, what are the top 10 movies for us? Like, what were the let's start with the positives, right? We can maybe delve into the negatives. So let's start off with what we really liked. Like, there was a lot of sequels for sure. Um, a lot of great television content. Which I guess, did you have a favorite television show that you're watching over the last? I know for me, I'm excited for a couple things coming out, but
That are coming out for 2025 or that I saw in 2024. I didn't.
But what did you watch in 2024 that you really liked for like series or limited series, or do you have any off the top of your head?
Man, yeah, well, One Piece probably. I ended up catching up at that last year, and I think they
Oh
were dropping
shit.
episodes. So whatever that last season was, which was I think
Was the live action
Egghead.
came out last year too, right? Or was that the
No,
year
that came
before?
out 2 years ago, I believe.
Oh dang. See, it's
Yeah,
been so long. That was
yeah, it's
good.
been a while now. I think they're dropping the new season this year. They already have all the actors and everything. It looks really sweet. But man, I think I'm thinking that probably Penguin, but I haven't finished it. I'm like 3 episodes out or four. I'm in episode
Oh
4,
wow.
which I really
Yeah, the
really
Penguin
like, and
came
I want
out.
to get into it. And then Squid Games that came out, was that this year or was that the last year? Last year, right? Came out
I think it
before.
dropped in December.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably Squid Games is a really good one. I really enjoyed. It's
Nice,
hard
nice.
because dude, you think the year for, or at least for me, went so fast, but you forget how much like content we got. Like you said, it wasn't all the best. I don't think like this was probably the year that I was like, I really didn't care to like go watch most of the movies. Like,
Hmm.
but I still watched a handful of movies, but at home. I didn't go see Joker in theaters, Joker 2, and I think if you guys go back to our like listen to our episode, I was like very very excited for it, and
Hmm.
obviously we got the
And
theaters.
then whatever happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. It was a little bit of a disappointment in that area. I think a lot of things that we were anticipating turned out to be not that great. Some of them were cash grabs, some of them were just not written very well. I think there was a lot of swings and misses for sure. I think some of I'll just list out a couple of shows that I really liked. Um, my wife and I discovered Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk, I think his name is.
yeah, yeah. He comes also in
He's really he
comes
does a
out in
ton of stuff.
Dodgeball. He's a pirate, right?
Oh, yeah, Dodgeball. He's a pirate.
Mm.
He's in there's a new show where
Doom Patrol comes out, I think.
yeah, he's in Doom Patrol.
He's coming out in the
Uh
new Superman, I think, or yeah,
yeah, well
I
he
believe.
does the voice of one of the characters in Creature Commando, the robot, I forget his name. But he
Mm,
does a lot of voice work too. Dude, he's so funny in the show. If you haven't watched the show Resident Alien, we just finished the most recent season. My wife loves the show. It's
yeah,
it's a great
it looks fun.
it's a fun time.
It's one of the ones I definitely wanted to check out. I didn't watch it, but there was like it's funny because at the time that that show had come out, I was like, I was bored and I was looking into a lot of conspiracy theories, and one of
Yeah.
the theories is like basically what that is, what's happening there. You know what I mean? But obviously, it's
Or
a
like
lot more like
aliens
larger.
are
Yeah, or
assuming
like
people's roles, or yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So it's a little bit of
Oh, dang. That's fun. I love a good conspiracy as well.
some are fun
My
for
the other
sure.
shows we really liked were the new season of From was really good. I don't know if you watched From. Um,
No, I think you've
there was
talked to me
a
about it though.
there was a movie that I think M Night Shyamalan might have been a movie where they pretty much not ripped it off, but like they did a version of what From possibly could have been. And so the new season, we were like, oh man, did they just spoil all of From? But it turns out the new season was completely different, and I'm excited for the next one. But
Are you
that
talking
was
about
really
the one that
fun.
the daughter made, that the of M Night Shyamalan, where she's like, or I don't
Maybe
know
it
if it
was
was
the
the
daughter
daughter.
directed it.
Might have been. It's the one where like
Oh, the
they're in a box,
Watchers, the
right? The
Watchers. Yeah, yeah.
Watchers. There you go. Okay, I do remember this movie.
Very similar premise. We thought it was basically ripping off From and like was gonna just spoil it, but the new season went like a different direction, and we were like, yes, like
Doesn't that always happen? Like, there's always like a movie or
it was the
two that
same
like
idea.
are
Yeah,
very similar in ideas. They just kind of execute them differently.
right.
It's like, I mean, whether they use the same script and then kind of change it, I don't know. Like, I've never caught a movie like that. Have you ever seen like anything like that?
Well, I mean, there's Dracula and Nosferatu are pretty much the same movie, but
Yeah.
they kind of ripped each other off. But there are definitely somewhere they take the premise and they're like, this is the same movie. Yeah, why are we doing this? I can't think of any off the top of my head, but trying to think of anything else. I mean, there was a lot of content. Watched a lot of 90 Day Fiance. Oh my gosh,
Same. I didn't want to mention that because I wasn't sure if it was like new last
if it was
season.
new. Oh,
Yeah, because there's like one we're watching right now, right? Is that what like I
talking
thought
about the
that's
Last
the
Resort
newest
one.
one? Yeah, where it's like they're doing the whole like they're like hiking and then the girl has the rock and she's like, I just wanna be free or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right, dude, I love
So
that. Uh, yeah, that's all part of it. Like, I feel like 90 Day Fiance has been going on for a while. This one kind of bled into the next year. Um, it's crazy, bro. Like, I think it's just kind of fun filler. That for me and my wife, it's either 90 Day Fiance or like some Gordon Ramsay show where like he's off exploring food, and like right now he was doing some sort of trek through like South Europe, I think. Like he was going to Portugal and Spain and trying all kinds of great food, and he tried to cook things. Really, I don't know. I love that stuff. Gordon Ramsay, whatever show he's doing, I just kind of watch because I figure he's like it's pretty always pretty solid. And then he went back to Kitchen Nightmares. It's always fun. He's got a new season coming out, but we should get to the movies though. Let's talk about our top 10 movies of the year. And Ernie, you're running the show and you got a sweet little setup, and I think it'd be fun to like
all
let's
right,
get
I'm
into it.
gonna all right,
Are you
let's do
ready?
it. Are
Are you
you
ready?
ready?
Are you ready? Number
Yep.
10. Well,
Number
maybe
10.
you should do the voice. Number
Number 10.
10.
Number 10. Oh, I don't know why I said number. You remember the Watch Mojo? These are the top movies,
Oh yeah,
starting
yeah.
at 10 or whatever. I can't do that, but
You did it
number
good. That
10.
was good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, what was your number 10?
I thought you were doing your number 10 first.
Oh, you want me to go first?
No, no,
I
you're
can.
fine. I'll do it. It's fine. My number 10 was Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Nice. Number 10. I thought that was my number 10.
Oh no, that's your number 10. Yeah, you're right. It is your number 10. Go. Well, then I guess we're starting
Ernie's
with you.
not
Go ahead.
Ernie's still juggling his numbers around.
Dude,
That was
I
my
know.
number 10, bro. Okay, Furiosa was my
Go
number
ahead.
10. Uh I thought it was a good movie. This is the George Miller sequel to Mad Max Fury Road. I thought Anya Taylor-Joy did a good job. I thought it was surprisingly um not as girl bossy as we thought. I felt like she earned it, right? I felt like she went through a lot of struggle. It wasn't just like, oh, you're instantly superpowers, and there was a little bit of that, but I like the way they did it. And I thought Chris Hemsworth was a fun bad guy. You don't usually see him as a bad guy, and I thought he just kind of went all out. It was overall, I like those action movies, and I liked how the first one is definitely better. I think Mad Max Fury Road is definitely more like intense, but for me, it was solid. It was solid. What was your number 10?
I agree. I want to ask you
Okay.
this because I guess this is the only question I didn't
That
propose
picture.
to you because I know is I this movie is number 8. Wait, number 8 for me. So how would we do it? Would I just tell you guys this was my number 8, right? Because I don't know if we should
No,
go
you gotta
through them,
stick to
right?
10. You gotta just go.
You got to still
This,
to 10.
this is
Oh,
what we
okay.
did. We're sticking to
So
it.
we're gonna have to
Unless
go
you want
back. All right. No, no, you're fine. It's whatever. Okay, so my number 10. There you go. Number 10 is, and this is what one that kind of snuck up on me because throughout the time of like watching movies throughout the year, this one I didn't really care for in the beginning, but it started to kind of like slowly creep up, and I kept thinking about it. I'm talking about the Challengers,
Hmm.
dude. I like this movie. I thought it was a solid movie. It was a tad bit different than what I expected it to be. Right? I think it had moments of, it had some silly moments. It had some very like romantic, very hard hitting moments, and I expected it to be a lot dumber. I went in going like, oh, this is gonna be a really silly movie, like not just in tone, but like just in general, where I was gonna be like, this is dumb. But
Hmm.
I was like, well, this particular scene was kind of weird, but you know what I mean. Like it hit. Like I think it was well done. I think the acting was really cool. I love the cinematography. I think we talked about it before when we talked about the movie, where where they hit the tennis ball and like the camera like goes with the tennis ball and all that. Like I thought all that was really cool. It worked well. The music was really neat. I think there's one particular moment where it just kind of gets really silly when they're talking to the guys and they're like, oh, why are you here? And it's like, it's like
Oh yeah,
super, it's like this like really interesting. Oh, why is she there? I don't even remember her being in the movie. She's just
she was in the premiere. I think I don't
there.
know.
Yeah,
It was
but
funny when they won the Academy Award for the music. He said I was expecting a call from them saying turn it. Can you just turn it down a little? And they never did. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Because in the movie, all of a sudden it'd be like,
yeah, it would get real tense, and I give them merit for it because it was different than what you would have expected for a movie like this, right? For them to add a song that was more upbeat but also like tense at the same time, so but it worked. Although it was
yeah.
loud and a little bit funny because at the time I was just kind of still like, I don't know, it was just shocking a little bit, but I thought it was good, bro. I enjoyed the movie. I think it was definitely worth a watch, and that's my number 10, dude.
Nice,
All
nice.
right, let's go into number 9.
Number 9. Ding,
What do
ding,
you
ding, ding,
got?
ding. You can go first if you want. Do number 9. We'll switch off.
Okay, all right, sure. So my number 9 was a movie that I ended up watching shortly. Like I don't think when it had come out, but I think we saw it when it finally came out on VOD. But The Substance,
Hmm.
Demi Moore. And I always forget her name.
Margaret Qualley.
Margaret Qualley. Thank you so much. Who plays Sue? Demi Moore plays Elizabeth. Dennis Quaid's in there. He plays Harvey. But the movie, dude, it is definitely a trippy movie. Without spoiling it, without like getting too into it, because I wouldn't want to ruin it. I think the movie works really well with what it was trying to do, but then that ending just takes it up a notch where you're like, man, was this needed? I don't know, but it's probably gonna like leave an everlasting impression in my mind. And it did. Like I could still think about that moment in the scene. I don't think you've seen this, right?
No, I haven't watched this one yet.
This is
But
one that
I know all about it. But go ahead.
okay, well this is one I like. I hate that you know about it because I want you to just like watch it. I feel like a fresh pair of eyes in this movie, like you watching it from the beginning would just trip you out. I don't
Yeah.
think I think they all did a great job. But it's so interesting, bro. Like like the twists and turns, I would say. And, um, I think weirdly enough, usually my wife and I will put on a movie, and this one was one of those ones that was random. Like we both didn't really care to watch. We had just heard about it, or I did, and I
Hmm.
told her I was like, we should check this movie out. And this is the one I was thinking, oh, we're gonna put it on and we're gonna fall asleep to it. That's what was my
Yeah, and you're probably like, oh, I had to wait the whole time.
and I was just wide awake the whole time because it was intriguing. I was as I was watching, I'm like, man, I want to know more. Like, what's going on here? Like, where are they headed? And I was pleasantly surprised with everything that was going on. I was like, man, this is a pretty cool story. I don't think I've seen anything like this personally. I'm sure there is, but I was like, man, something's up here. Right? Like something crazy is gonna happen. Oh, there she
Mhm.
is. Or look at this guy. I don't know who he is.
Oh.
What is that one dude? But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, good movie. I recommend it. I think you should definitely check it out, Jace. It's just one of those ones that you have to see it to believe it because it has some pretty cool moments that um
Yeah, I
should
think
be enough.
I would be fine with it. I think my wife's not a huge like gore. Like I know there's it's not it's crazy gore, right? Like it's very striking, but I it just hasn't been one of those ones I'm like, "Hey, you want to watch The Substance?" It's kind of like are you ready? Let's watch it.
You're just
Like,
gonna put it on, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've heard lots of good things. I heard a lot of people saying it drives the message home like a lot. Like it just really hits the nail on the head, which is good.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, the message it's sending.
you got to
My
take
okay,
care of yourself, dude. Is what it is.
you gotta take
That's
care
the
of yourself.
message.
You can't be burning your candle at both ends, you know.
Yeah, you gotta take the substance. You gotta take the substance.
And the TikToks now where like they're like showing actresses from the past and how they look just like these new up and coming actresses. I don't know if you've seen
Oh
those
yeah, I
ones.
see. Yeah, I have
It's
seen
like
those.
The Substance. And it's like and they're doing the like the face swaps. They're like look just like each other. It's like, huh? It's become a thing, bro. So my number 9 is We Live in Time, and I went to the theater to watch this with my wife, not knowing what to expect, and I think we both walked out. We liked it. I think we both liked it. So this is a We Live in Time stars Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. The plot is basically, it's a exploration of love and the passage of time. I don't want to like give any spoilers. Some of the spoilers are in the trailer. Um, I thought it was very well told. I thought, deeply moving, especially if you're in a relationship like with somebody you love. You can kind of relate to, the different moments in life. It's very easy to relate as far as ups and downs in relationships. And I'm surprised that Lex hadn't watched it. I think he didn't watch it in theaters, right? He waited till VOD. I was
I don't
very
think he's
surprised.
watched it at all.
I
I
thought he
don't think
watched it
so.
recently.
No, I don't think he was. I don't think he was able to. There was
As
a
a
moment in
Pew Pew
time that
fan, he should have watched it. Go ahead.
yeah, I want to say there was a moment in time where he wasn't going to the theaters. This might have been the time, but I'm not
Oh,
entirely sure. I don't want to like really speak for him.
he's like, that moment in time was when we lived in time.
That's why I
But
said it.
that was
Yeah,
good. That was good. No,
yeah.
it's good, dude. It's so funny. Andrew Garfield's been going around talking about like a lot of his interviews. He remembers his grandmother, right? Is his mother or his grandmother? So well, somebody he really
His
loved passed
mom that
away.
passed
His
away. His
mom.
mom. Yeah, because he later on comes out in Sesame Street with Elmo, and he's talking about his mother. And
Yeah,
he's like, "What's
he's
wrong?"
like,
And then he's like, "I miss my mom." And it's like a
he's like,
really,
it's okay to
it's super.
cry.
Yeah, exactly. It's like super cute, very heartfelt moment. I freaking loved it. I love watching it. I know Lex gets a kick out of it too. But
Yeah.
continue.
No, I just think that affected him quite a lot, and so you've kind of noticed in the roles he's taken. This one and that other one was a Tick Tick Boom, where he also has a shortened like in that movie he knows like he has a shortened amount of time, and so he's trying to make the most of his life, and it's just kind of cool to like these type of movies kind of like help you reflect and think, am I wasting my time here? Am I, because we only have a certain amount of time left. So I think for that reason I enjoyed because it does paint a snapshot of kind of, you know, if you knew you had a limited amount of time, which we all do, but like we don't know, right? So it's like making the most of it. Um, yeah, and then one day, well, you have Amelia, so it might hit you even harder, right? Because you know the legacy you pass down, or like what's gonna happen when you pass away, your kids still gonna be alive, that type of thing.
No,
So
yeah, dude.
things
Weird.
to
That's
things to
been
think
hitting
about.
me recently a lot lately. Like I know I'm not a super emotional guy, but we watched The Wolfman the other day. I won't get into a review or anything because we'll probably talk about it next time. But
And
in
like when I
particular,
turn into a wolf,
no, I
what's gonna
know. When
happen?
I see, like, will my daughter, no, just kidding, survive? No, no, no. So, uh, there was like, there's a father and daughter, and the bond they share is so different. And I'll like, it's interesting. It's really well done. And I was like, man, this is good. So yeah, I would love to see this. This is one of the ones that I definitely want to watch. It's just, it fell on the wayside. It's like, like you're just like, man, I can't wait for this movie. It's like Wicked. I want to watch Wicked, and then like it fell in the back. I never got to go see it. Like things like that. It just,
Mhm.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
it just
2024
happened.
was this like I think in September for us personally was a weird like ever since September it just was a very strange like the rest of the year.
Yeah,
And we're
it's true.
now it's like we're getting back to formula, as the Green Goblin says. Willem
Back to
Dafoe. Yeah.
formula.
So okay. So let's get into my. What are we on? Number 8.
Number 9.
Or actually, no.
We're on number
No,
8 now.
we're on number 8. You're
Let's
gonna be on
go.
number 8. You're gonna be on number 8.
You're gonna
No, you. No,
you get a
you.
number 8, and you get a number 8.
I start
Uh,
because yeah, I thought we were flip flopping, but it's whatever. Okay, I'll start with my number 8. Are you ready? Let me put the little picture.
number 8. You want me to
Damn.
go? I can go.
Well, no,
No, you should go.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you allowing me to go next. Well, my number 8 was Furiosa. I had said it prior to this. I wasn't sure how we were doing this, but I enjoyed this movie. I think it would have been a lot higher up for me had I not seen the rest of the movies that I had watched after that, or just thought of. Because, like I said, 2024 it's a year, right? And there's so many movies. Like, I definitely want to give my, like flowers to a bunch of things I didn't put on this list in my top 10. But
We can do honorable mentions afterwards,
I'll try to
because I do
remember. I
have
didn't
some
write
too.
any. Oh, I didn't. I was thinking about one when we were talking about this, but it
Don't
doesn't.
forget.
But yeah, dude. I sharing the same sentiment as you. I think. Uh, um, what's his name? Thor. God, why can't I think of his name right now? Chris
Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth.
I think he did a great villain. I think the thing with Chris Hemsworth is he does a good job being a silly person. Right? He's a very funny guy, and I think him trying to be an evil guy still with silliness just works well for him and his stature. I know he's not a typecasted person, but obviously he fits a particular role of person. And I think he has some great moments where he was very like he got serious. Where I was like, man, I didn't know he had this, right? Because now we've just seen Chris Hemsworth as a silly, funny guy. Thor, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, he has like moments, but like I think this one was far different from most of the things I've watched of him, which I thought was cool. The person that stuck out to me a lot, and I have to check out his name. I apologize, I'm not very good with names, but if he's in that image right there, is why did it go to freaking Captain America? Did you see that? I think I clicked it wrong. Was Tom Burt, or what? No, sorry. Was it Oh my god, Praetorian Jack. That's the one that takes care of her, right? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Actually, I don't remember what his name
Or
was,
was
but go
it?
ahead, continue.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right? It's the
He's the guy. He's kind of like the mentor figure.
he's like the mentor figure, but like he ends up falling in love. I think it's Tom Burt.
Might have been
Um,
Tom Berg.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
Tom
I think
Burt.
that's I
Yeah,
think that's
that's
who
the
it
guy.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he plays Praetorian Jack. Dude, I dug him. I thought he was really freaking cool in that role. He looks just like a character from a video game called Metal Gear.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
and I was just like, man, this is so sweet. I would have loved them like to continue a story with that guy, and I mean, I won't say anything, but like, it's so perfect. Like, he was a really cool character. He was badass. Furiosa is cool. I like Anna Taylor Joy. I think she did a great job, but I think some characters around her were a little bit better. Like, you wanted to know more, personally. I thought. Like, I wasn't like when I finished the story, and I know we get the next one is Mad Max Fury Road, right, with Charlize Theron. I wasn't thinking like, man, I want to see the rest of Furiosa. Like, I didn't. Yeah, I
Right.
just was.
You're like,
I,
nah.
am I? That's why it went down on the list for me. Like, I wasn't like I don't want to see more of this, but I do want to see more of something else in the list. You know, I mean, in the Mad Max universe, I could say.
Oh right.
Maybe bring back Mad Max. I don't know. Maybe give me
Mm,
Mel Gibson. I know he's going to be the
mm.
ambassador of Hollywood supposedly or something like that. Did you hear
Oh yeah.
about that?
Yeah, I
So
heard about that too.
he'll come back. I don't know because I know they disliked him for some things he might have said. I don't remember what he said or if he said anything.
Like
But
Hollywood's its own country. I thought that was funny. The
yeah, that
ambassador.
was interesting, huh? I was telling my wife about that. She's like, Mel Gibson. I was like, yeah, that was strange. Right to hear that. That's right. All right. Let's get into number
Number
8 for
7.
you.
Oh no.
Number 8 for you.
Oh sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
forgot I'm at.
Sorry, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't.
My number 8. is a movie that we saw together, and I was so excited because I think you had watched it, right? Like you had already seen it, and then you're like, "Dude, you gotta watch this with me," and got to see it on the big screen. I think
Oh, that's
you
right. I did see
remember.
this twice,
Yeah,
huh?
you'd seen it opening night,
Dude,
and I wanted to go. My wife was like,
and
"We're not
something
watching this."
yeah, that's
She's
because I
it's
feel
not
like
her
she would
type
have
of
liked
movie.
this movie. Dude, she would have
I told her, yeah, I was like,
she
"You'd
would have
probably like
enjoyed
this."
it. Yeah, like my yeah, I think I watched this with my wife and she enjoyed it a
So
lot.
it's Alien Romulus. So the new Fede Alvarez version of Alien. Alien Romulus is kind of a it's kind of stuck in the middle, right? Like it's kind of in between. Or no, was it a prequel? I can't remember. No, it's after the first one,
It's
right?
after the first one, so it's like right after what happens in the first
Yeah. So it's a what do they call it? A tweakle? I don't know what they call it,
one. A
but
twinkle,
a twinkle.
a little star,
It's an
and
in between. It's an in between.
in betweener,
Uh,
in betweeners, the in betweeners.
but I thought Kaylee Spency was the lead in the role. I thought she did a good job. Dude, there was a lot of moments. I will admit there was a lot of retreading of like the classic bits. Like they had to kind of force it in. I don't know if that was the studio or whatnot. Like there's some classic lines that they say for absolutely no reason. But I think it makes up for it in like its return to a lot of practical. Like there was a lot of cool practical effects in this. There was a lot of cool, alien camera work and like there was a lot of suspense, right? I felt like they did a great job on making it really feel like you're going back to that old original Alien movie. Because like the new ones with what is it called? Prometheus. They feel very clean. Feel very pristine with their effects and the look. It's like doesn't really fit.
It's a budget. It's very very well spent.
Yeah,
Right?
it
It
looks
doesn't
very
seem
high budget,
gritty. It doesn't seem
clean.
like the original. It's not gritty, but also like that's the beginning of it, right? So they were
True.
going for that sort of like not a sense of disbelief because you're supposed to kind of like lose yourself, but you're supposed to remember like this is the beginning of how everything is supposed to look. But I get it. Like I think you're right. I think Prometheus, although really pretty and clean, I think these movies just outshine them on based on like this like grittiness, practicality, and just
Right.
and I think the way the story is told is such like a lot linear than the other ones. I felt like the other ones kind of were trying to expand too much, but not for
Right.
that sake.
Yeah, it's kind of like when like the prequels came out for Star Wars, it just everything felt so clean compared to like the old originals. And I think that's a lot of reason why people like Andor, right? It returns to that kind of grittiness of the originals. This is kind of what I felt for this one. I felt like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm dropped right back into that alien world. And this guy that you're showing, I don't know his name, but the one that plays the android did a really good job as well. I forget what his name is. Usually, if you just hover over the
I'll look it up
picture,
right now. Oh, is it? Does it? Oh,
that's
amazing.
okay.
His name is Andy.
No, but David Johnson,
Oh,
yeah, he did a really good job. Isabella Merced, she's also a supporting role. She was put in a lot of like tense situations. It's a fun like thriller, space sci-fi movie, and I enjoyed it. So
yeah.
that was my number 8.
Let's get
Moving on
into
to number 7.
numbers. Number seven. All
Brad
right,
Brad Pitt in his 7. Go ahead.
so for us both, our number 7. I don't think we were gonna be we were gonna coincide like this. It
Oh
makes
yeah, we lined
sense.
up.
We lined up on this one, dude. Number 7 for us was
Man, boys, what you want?
Bad Boy Ride or
You
Die,
want?
dude.
Man, boy. Dude, such a fun movie. I think didn't we did we watch
Very.
this together?
We did. I think we did. And this is a fun one, bro. I think I. So if I may get into it, Jace, I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll start, please. Please, please. I, I would tell you that my daughter likes to do this thing where, sorry, a little ranty rant here, but my daughter likes to like she'll ask me for something and she'll be like, "Oh, can I have a candy?" And then I'm like, "No, you got to eat your dinner first." And she goes, "Please!" Like she'll yell like,
Please for the candy.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
please!" Like it's just
I can
hilarious.
see
But
it, dude.
yeah. So so I knew I was coming in here and I was gonna have a good time watching this movie. It just felt like a good time movie, a nice blockbuster, what we used to get when we were younger, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that,
Mhm.
like kind of again back to formula sort of Hollywood, like very just like it's guns blazing, just just action, good little side stories, fun things like that. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun, nothing crazy. And man, this blew me away. I think this did much better than I expected it to be. I think the cinematography of like them shooting, I think the explosions, the gunfights, the banter between the characters, I think it all works so darn well. I remember just laughing out loud like hard, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that, but like my wife and I were just dying at like some great moments in the movie, like Will Smith and Martin
Martin
Lawrence
Lawrence. Yeah.
are just like so perfectly matched in like characters and like and charisma. Like they both are, different in their own way, but they like come it's like Rush Hour, right? Like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. They come together and they're so good together.
Oh
Same thing
yeah.
with these guys, right? And but yeah, solid movie. What are your thoughts?
I agree, bro. Yeah, you were mentioning like the direction, like I think it's Aldi Arby and Bella I'm gonna butcher his name, Fal, but they made it in a way that really felt like a Michael Bay, right? Because Michael Bay directed the original, and I felt like he really brought that kind of editing style where you get the swooping crane shots and like the flyovers, and it just adds to that drama and that fun of these types of movies, right? It's definitely a popcorn movie. Like you go watch this, and I remember like before this movie came out, there was all that Will Smith drama, and we're like, oh, I don't know, is he gonna just phone it in? Like he's getting a lot of bad press on everything. You, this is an instance where you really separate the art from the artist because you just felt like you were right back into that world. He was having fun with it. You could tell he was enjoying it. Martin Lawrence, dude, is really a standout because he has so many funny bits where he's like talking about you were in one of my
The
past lives, you were a donkey, and I had to tame you or whatever. And like it's like an ongoing, like he thinks he's gonna.
it's just hilarious, bro. Yeah,
He
it's so
knows it's
well
not
done.
his time, so he feels invincible. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of fun moments, dude. I really enjoyed it. Just like you said, like you just walk out of the theater, like, dude, that was a fun time, like a smile on your face. You just had a lot of fun, and dude, I watched it again. Like we watched it, I think, a couple week or a couple months after it had it already come out on VOD. Just had just as much fun, dude. There's so many like little fun things in that movie, but definitely, definitely a sweet number seven for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Number
Now we're on number six, dude.
number
I'm gonna
six, number
start off
six,
with
number six.
yours. I've actually have not heard of this, but I'm gonna put it up on screen.
Oh yeah, my number six is one you guys might not have heard of, but definitely a fun movie, bro. This one is called Thelma, starring June Squibb, who is a 95-year-old woman who embarks on a thrilling adventure. I'm not going to say what happens, but uh, basically, actually, I could set it up. It's in the trailer, dude. This is such a cute, fun movie. I didn't know I was going to like it this much, but she basically gets scammed. Like those you'll get an email or say like the Pakistani, prince is asking for your help, and or you get a phone call. Well, what was happening was I think when AI was first becoming a thing, right? They would mimic somebody's voice that you knew, be like, "Oh, hey, it's so and so. I really need money. Can you help me do?" She gets scammed into giving somebody money. She thinks it's like her grandson, and the grandson's like, "Oh no, you got scammed." And so the whole movie is like her revenge, not her revenge, but like she's out to like make it right. And so she goes
Oh,
on
so
this
this is
quest,
like the Beekeeper, but with an old
kind of
lady.
like the kind of like the beekeeper, but she's 95 years old, right? So all the fun that happens with like being old and like, oh man, dude, it's so funny. The way they did it was so well written. I enjoyed it, dude. Like just the way she interacts with the characters, and like she gets put in situations where like, oh my gosh, this lady's really old. Like, can she do this? It's heartwarming. It's a fun adventure. Really good. I recommend checking it out. But yeah, that's my number six.
Sweet. Let me do my number six here. My number six is Alien. Romulus, which is what you had been talking about. Kind of,
A little higher up in the list for you. Nice,
yeah,
nice.
definitely. I think I'm surprised it wasn't a lot higher for you, and I'm surprised Thelma beat Alien for you. But also, like, I think I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, you were looking for. Last we spoke, you were kind of looking for things that were a little bit more on the positive end, something that was a lot more happier to watch, leaving the experience like not depressed. And this isn't like depressing Alien Romulus, but it's not like in that vein of right of like happy go lucky things are happening, right? There's a lot of death, right? So
Yeah, I think Thelma's higher on my list just because I felt like the ending of this movie fell apart a little bit. Like I remember
yeah,
walking out being like, "What the heck just happened?" But I enjoyed everything up to that point.
yeah. So for me, like I think I really enjoyed the movie. I cannot wait to see what they do next. I think he just got the green light not long ago that they're gonna make a sequel and or something in his own like alien sort of story. And
Yeah,
well, yeah, which is like awesome. Like this is exactly what I would want like moving forward from our Alien. Just like when we saw the Predator movie. What was it called? Prey, I believe, right?
yeah, the one that
Yeah, the one that came out just
dropped
straight
on
to Hulu.
Hulu. Yeah,
Terrible, terrible. Like that should have been like a movie in theaters. Like
should have
it
been
would have done
theaters.
so well. Like really, really well. Great movie. I recommend that too. But yeah, like this is one of those movies that I remember watching it and it stuck with me. Like you said, we watched it. I've watched it twice. I always make I always say this because I always go. I don't know. I just make it up, but I don't know if it is or not. But I always say I don't have always have a lot of time to do a lot of things, and then I end up going to watch a movie twice. Like,
But he has the time.
when I make the time, sometimes I make that time to go watch some things that are like that are interesting to me. Like for instance, I really wanted to see Deadpool 2 or 3 like twice, but I wasn't able to. But this one was one of the ones that I really wanted to watch, and I'm glad that I got to see it with you a second time. I think I think this movie is one of those that after I finished watching it, I kept thinking about it, and it kept just coming back. Like, man, that was so cool, or man, this was neat, or like,
Yeah,
oh, I like this part. Oh man, I want to see this again. Like, I really want to get So it's definitely one of those ones that it deserves the place it is. I think it's not higher because I mean I have some other things that are a little bit higher based on something else, but like you said, the story kind of falls off a little bit at the end. I think they couldn't keep that momentum going. But I also was like, man, I don't know what else they could have done, right? Like
I mean,
the way
yeah, I
they,
think yeah they had an idea of where they wanted to go, and it kind of worked. But can I say one thing real quick? I remember when we
no, go
first
ahead, yeah,
we went to the theater and we were like sitting in pretty much like we were really close. We were really close. We were watching in IMAX, and I remember thinking like that intro scene when the the lights go down and like you're in space, like you just see like that star field, and you're not quite sure what's gonna happen. I remember like getting like anxious and like nervous, dude. I was like, what's gonna happen, dude? I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
watched an alien movie in a while,
In
right?
a
And it's
while,
like
yeah,
anything could
yeah.
happen, right?
It was
So there's a lot
it
of
was
fun
a
anticipation.
it was a very interesting moment. Like having even like watching it the second time, I remember being like giddy about it. I was like, oh, what's gonna happen? I'm
Yeah,
like, I
you
already
knew
know what's
certain moments
happening.
you're gonna look at me.
Yeah, yeah, because it has some it has some good jump scares, and I think the characters are well balanced from one another. Like I never felt like anything was like out of place. I think Andy was a standout character. He was awesome. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know how it's gonna be like in the future if they do something with that guy. Because obviously people age, right? Like Prometheus, right? The AI robot, he becomes more the more you watch the movies. But
Yeah, the androids
yeah,
are always the more interesting characters, right? Because they can be put in situations that the humans can't, and it's like, oh,
I mean
interesting.
they get put in those situations because of humans, right? I mean,
Well, that's true. Yeah.
they're not sentient. They're not like creating these things. They're there with a mission, and they're gonna see it like be like 100% completed. These people are just trying to survive, right? And
Right. Yeah.
that's the
The
little
robot
difference
doesn't
there.
have that dread like the humans do, right? Like,
No, and
because
it's
they're
cool to see.
kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, but okay. Well, so let's get into our number.
Five. Number five. Number five. Number five.
All right,
The hand
so
of the number five.
we'll do your number 5, and I'm surprised this one again. I'm surprised that you. I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you done this.
I thought this was gonna be a lot higher for you on the list.
Oh, it was fun, dude. Deadpool, Wolverine. it was a fun movie. But you know, okay, here's why it's only number 5 is
This is
that
why he's mad that he's number 5.
I'm not mad about it.
No, no, I'm
So
saying that Wolverine. Okay.
it's because Ryan Reynolds. No, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say it's because Ryan Reynolds made Nice Pool, and you know we know what happened with Blake Lively.
Yeah, you're gonna say
All
something
that
about that.
drama, dude. Like I don't know. Like I don't. It could be true. It's very petty. Like if it's actually true, like it's horrible. But it didn't affect my viewing of the movie. I still had fun watching this movie. Um, the fact that Hugh Jackman came back for this, so many things lined up. It was just a great like feel good popcorn movie. Lots of fun, lots of laughs. I think Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman do great together. I think the team up worked. I think the way the intro and all that fun stuff, how he actually came, we got to see him come back, got to kind of go through a romp of lots of different comic book variations of him was fun. I think Hugh Jackman is forever going to be Wolverine. Like I just can't think of any other person that would play. Even when we got that Henry Cavill moment, it was cool, but it's like you still, if even if Henry Cavill became Wolverine for a movie, I would still put Hugh Jackman as the OG. Like he's still Wolverine, right? I think there's just some characters like he's just played him for so long. But I did have fun with it. I know Ernie. I think he's higher up on your list, but anything to say before we go to your number 5?
No. Well, I mean, I'll get into it when I get there.
You're
Because
gonna save it.
yeah, I guess so. I don't want to like talk too much about it. But my number 5, so I got to hand it. Is this movie. I don't know if you've watched it. I think you're the one that
Yeah, I
recommended it to
watched
me,
it,
which is oh, you watched it. Okay, great. So this movie's called Oddity.
and it
Uh,
is an oddity.
and it is an oddity. I enjoyed this movie. I think it's definitely worth a watch. It was creepy in such a different way. And recently, with a lot of my horror movies that I've watched, I'm not the biggest horror guy. I've talked about that. My wife is, and so I'm just there for the ride. But I'm there and I enjoy these movies. Right. A lot of the movies that we've watched, like moving forward, have all been unsettling. That's like the new wave of like sort of horror that I've gone where it's not like I'm scared, but I do feel like, oh man, uncomfortable sort of as I'm watching these movies. And it's not the worst feeling. It's a different feeling when I'm watching my movies. It's like I know we've had this discussion about just, certain, movies and art pieces and all that. But, certain things that you go watch are going to convey a certain emotion. And I think these movies do that well. And Oddity is one of the ones that has been new into the horror genre where it's been pleasantly surprising, where it's a good story and interesting, characters, and I think beautifully shot and in such a low budget where it makes its money, is awesome. Like I love that because like moving forward, because that's becoming a thing, they're kind of, because Hollywood is kind of, what's everything that's been going on, they're sort of getting to the point where they're trying to do more practicality, more things that are um what they used to do. Try to cut the budget on this particular thing, right? Like we get like movies. I'm sorry, a little rants. But we get movies like Red One, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Chris Evans,
Yeah,
freaking, you know what I mean? A Christmas movie about Santa should have done gangbusters. Should have made a lot of money, and it didn't. It like failed miserably. And you see the amount of money that they got spent, and it's like The Rock got paid X amount of money, Chris Evans got this, and the rest of the budget's for the movie, and it's like, dude, it isn't about like how much you're putting into the movie. It's how good you can make it. You know what I mean? Like money should be the not the like the end all be all. It's like, oh, because we have this movie, let's do this scene. It's gonna cost this amount of money. It's like, no, make a scene that makes sense and is gonna be, it's gonna make the movie that much better. But no, well, what do we know? We're not directors. But
yeah.
yeah,
It's like
like
put the
these,
money into the making the awesome scene even better versus
yeah,
we're gonna put the monies to make the scene better. Like it's hard to
it's hard to
describe.
it's hard to
We
describe.
should
But like
elevate it. Yeah.
exactly. Like, and it sucks to say this, but it's like no actor should. I mean, it's good to get paid a lot of money, but it's like I don't think an actor should be getting paid this like crazy amount of money when
What
it's
are you
like
bringing to the
it
movie
yeah
besides
it
yourself?
should,
Yeah.
besides yourself, that you're a big star. It's like, bring yourself, make this movie that great, and then get that bonus later after the movie does
Mm.
so well. Get that bonus. It's like people who work for like tips, right?
Yeah.
When they go to a restaurant, you're not getting tipped because you're just there. You're getting tipped because you've done a great job, and that's your tip. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
people could be cheap, but also, like, this is the way that you vote with your wallet. If you want The Rock to make a lot of money and still live in Samoa and all these places, you go tip them, go watch the movie, vote with your wallet. Obviously, people are not voting for Black Adam, and all these things are just not doing well. But that's a topic for another discussion. I just wanted to bring that up because, like, these movies are so low budget and so good still, right? But there's a time and place for every sort of movie. This one just kind of stood out to me at the time, and my wife and I really enjoyed it. And I think we watched it one night on VOD when it came out. I don't think this was this was a straight to stream. So
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was on Hulu that I saw it. I can't remember. It was a while ago. I remember being very like curious to know what was going to happen, right? Like the whole movie kind of draws you in. And this one, what's her name? Caroline, I forget her name.
mm,
Caroline. She's right there. Bracken. Caroline Bracken does a great job of like just embodying this like I am a psychic medium, and like she's really like it's so funny. It checks all the boxes of like horror movie, but it's not that
yeah,
scary. I didn't think it was as scary as it was interesting. It was odd. It was curious. It's so
it was
like
an oddity.
it was an oddity.
Ah,
It tied in so well, like the because she has an oddity shop and like all this, everything made you want to see what was gonna happen. Um, it was a good little budget, like low budget, like you said. I it didn't crack my top 10, but I'm glad it cracked yours.
glad you had a crack at it.
It
All
had a
right,
crack.
let's get into our number.
Our number 4. Number 4. Number 4.
So I'll
Number
start
4.
off with
Go for it.
mine, I guess. So taking turns. So for me, this one is a sad one, right? Because I think I think it did well, but I don't think it made its money back, right? I don't, if I
No,
remember
I don't think
correctly.
it
Yeah,
it's made it back. I think it
yeah,
was a flop.
which is sad. I'm not sure. Well, we're talking about the fall guy, I should say. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and check. But man, dude, this movie was fun. A lot of fun. Again, we talk about blockbuster movies and fun rom coms, and this like checked all those boxes, and I think it just did well overall. Like, for me personally, I think seeing the stunts and now like you said, I think you had said this a long time ago, but now realizing how much stunt men do for the movies we watch, and it's crazy because it's not that we don't think about it because we don't care for them. It's just like we don't think about it because we're there just to lose ourselves in the experience, right? It's like you kind of just forget, and you're in that disbelief when you're watching movies, and this movie kind of brings light to that sort of you know every day on the set sort of work that they've done, and I think
Yeah.
I think it does a really great job. I was smiling the whole time. It felt sort of like when I've watched those Hallmark movies I like to watch, and when I'm watching those movies, like I always feel like I'm smiling because it's silly, but it's like that right kind of cheesy. This
Yeah.
felt like that's what this felt like, and I think
It
it,
was.
it
It
did.
was like Ryan Gosling was really like having fun with it, you could tell.
Yeah.
Like you just feel like it's just hanging out with this guy on set, and uh I agree with you, bro. Like I put this actually a little higher up than you. Um but it did end up losing money. I don't know what happened. Like I don't know if it was like the trailer, that shot to the heart. Like did it just play too many times and people got tired of the trailer, or
I
like
don't know. I think the only thing that I could think of was it just wasn't advertised as correctly as it could have been because the trailer was like like the trailer was out a lot, right? But I
yeah, it
feel
was
like
like
most
constant.
times it's like it is it is that they're not advertising it to the right audience, like the right person. Basically, like this is an action movie, this is a rom com. Like it didn't stick to it. From what I remember now, I don't remember everything. I mean, this is a long time ago now at this point. But I was
Yeah.
there because of Ryan Gosling. Like I liked him, so I'm like I'm gonna watch this movie because of him, right? And I was pleasantly surprised because there was even more to it after the fact.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like I think I said this previously, but I feel like if they had played up more that this was like a tribute to the action stunts like that. I mean, it's called the Fall Guy, but a lot of people don't know that that's a term for Hollywood to say like he's the fall guy, like he's the one that's
Yeah,
going to do the
yeah.
stunt for the celebrity. But yeah, it was good. I was good. It was sad. It ended up losing, I think, 50 to 60 million. Just it was almost there.
All right, let's
But
get into your number four, my friend.
number
Now,
4,
when you talk about this movie, I want
don't
you to,
spoil it.
huh?
Don't you want me to spoil it for you?
No, I mean, I kind of know what happens, but I want you to hold space as you discuss.
Hold space.
Have you not
Okay.
seen that meme?
No.
What is
Oh,
that? That's like a
it hold
lady. She's like,
space.
it really holds space or something like that. It was like a whole thing. But dude, before you get into it, my friend, we're talking Wicked. This is still in theaters right now. I really want to go see this. I
You
still
should.
want to see it, and I told my wife, and she's like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to fall asleep. And I'm like, I don't. That's the point of going to the theaters. You're not gonna want to fall asleep. And that's
She could fall asleep.
I'm yeah probably. But I want to
No,
go see
I don't
this.
know about this movie, but I'm just saying, like
I
in a
might go
theater,
I might go see this tonight. We'll see. We'll see. But continue, please.
you should, dude. Okay, so Wicked, I was not on the train at all. Like I remember watching those trailers and being rolling my eyes, like I don't want to watch this movie. And then everyone started talking, and all the
Was it
reviews
when
were
I thought you wanted to watch it when you heard
no. I hate that part in the trailer. I was like, I would make fun of it. I was like, I was like, stop! I don't want to hear this. It was good, dude. It was really well written. I was surprised. It hooked me from because I don't know the story from the Broadway play, but it was interesting. It has kind of that Harry Potterish vibe where they're in the school of magic and you know same thing as Harry Potter, but it touches on different themes and the way they do it is different. Uh, Freaking Ariana Grande, I didn't think was going to be very good, and she was really funny and she's really playing the character well. Cynthia Erivo was like horrible in all of her interviews. I was like, "What are you doing?" And like she totally sells her performance. Like you don't even see like she just becomes the character. It was interesting, bro. I was very surprised. This was one of the ones that I thought I wasn't gonna like, and I ended up walking out like, dude, that was like really well done movie. And I'm excited to see. Like, I'm curious to see what the next one's gonna be because I everybody's like who's seen the play. Everyone who's seen the play knows, right? Like they're like, oh yeah, you can't wait to see what's gonna happen on this one. People are saying you're gonna be excited, but good music, well done. It wasn't greatest showman level, but it was in that vein, right?
Oh, that's
I
funny.
still
I
want to
feel like
watch
Better Man would probably be up
I
your
still want to
alley
watch
though.
Better Man, yeah. Did Lex say he liked it? Better
Oh,
Man? I
he
thought
loves
he
that
liked it.
movie, dude. He's been talking about it since he's watched it. Yeah, he's like one of the people that are like telling everyone to go watch it. Like he's like yelling from the rooftops, as they say.
He
And that's
said it
one of the
was
ones I
better
want to
than
watch
Wicked,
too.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
He
he
said
said
he's
that,
like, better. Go
which
watch
is
it.
cool. I mean, that that's awesome. I'm glad he liked it. But yeah, let's get into our number three
Number
here.
3, let's do it.
So
Number
my
3.
my number three, actually your number three. Let's get into your number three.
Oh, okay. Let's do my number 3, which
Okay.
is surprise,
Dun, dun, dun,
surprise, The Fall
dun.
Guy. The Fall Guy moved up to number 3 for me. I really enjoyed this movie too. I felt like this is like I would go back and watch it. It has a lot of rewatchability. Has a lot of the fact that they did such homage to like classic stunts and things. Like I'm watching a show called The Franchise right now, uh, which kind of talks about the behind the scenes drama behind filming. So I've done a little bit of behind the scenes stuff like with some of my past jobs. I got to be assistant to certain things, like laying the laying the pipes or whatever, like the trussing and like the
Yeah.
lights and stuff. I've done some of that, so I kind of know a lot of the behind the scenes. So I think I just the making of behind the scenes parts of this was very interesting for me, and that's what kind of drew me in. But then the story and the way it was told was so much fun, and Ryan Gosling's just being Ryan Gosling, and Emily Blunt is a great supporting role. They're kind of the co-leads, but their chemistry was good. Just the back and forth was really fun, and I just had a good time, bro. Like, I know you said pretty much everything. I just really enjoyed. It deserves to be higher up, and more people should see it.
Definitely. Okay, so let's get
Your
into.
number three.
This is going a lot longer than I expected it to be. I didn't think we're gonna be so many movies, huh? It's crazy.
That's true.
This
Well,
there's so many things. Mine is Nosferatu.
Nos
I think this was
Barata.
beautifully shot. It was a cinematic masterpiece for me. I really liked it a lot. I didn't love it. I wouldn't go and watch it again, but I think this is the one that watching it, um, I just it was it came out in a perfect time for me, and I think now I might be wrong, Jace here, but they call this like gothic, right? A sort of aesthetic. That's kind of like what they were going for here.
Oh yeah,
I
for
have
sure.
this is a little side rant. I know Lex gets mad at me when I talk about this because I always talk about this, but Lex friend of the cast, of course. But I was playing Dark Souls 1 and 2, and then I started playing Lies of P, which are these games that are like Souls likes. Basically,
Lies of
RPG that are
P.
very difficult games. You fight big bosses, you gotta level up. It's a whole thing, right? If you look it up, you'll know. And I was playing those games, and when this movie had come out, I was like, it was it was in that month of December, dude, and it was so perfectly done, bro. Like it just you know how like when you're just watching something that is this and this and then this and it's like it just all went perfect with that one thing. This was
Hmm.
Nosferatu to me. It hit so darn well. I was like so like excited to watch it. I think it's a
Yeah,
great
you were like
movie.
really excited to watch it.
I
Like you were
was. I was
like,
really excited, and I think it's dark. Like the one because I know you haven't seen this movie. The one I was gonna text you, but I'm like he's probably busy. Like I can't really talk to him now. But the one thing I will say about this movie is like
okay.
I I don't think this is a movie you might like because it is dark, but not like in the sense of like tonality, but I think in the depressive state of the film. Like it's dark in that sense. Like you'll feel like man, this isn't this probably isn't something for me. Like I don't know if you'll like it. It's like I as an artistic movie, like this is a really great movie, and I think people should watch it. But Jason, I don't know if you'll like. It. I don't know if
I
you'll
probably
you'll
won't
dig
like
it.
it because the trailers. I think I told you like the
Mm.
second trailer came out and you're like, I can't wait, and I was like, this makes me want to watch it even less. Like I
Yeah,
saw
see,
more
that's
of
what
it.
I'm saying. It's like it just. I only watched like a little bit of the first trailer. I didn't really watch the trailer, but I think the movie was like it hit so well with what they were trying to go for. Freaking, I think all the cast was spot on. I think Willem Dafoe was a sweet standout character. I know the next movies that
Yeah, a
the
lot of
guy
people
is
said.
doing, he's gonna probably base on Willem Dafoe to be in, which is funny that he said that. But yeah, man.
We're talking about Robert Eggers says he wants to work with them, like in a just like
And
he's gonna be the main.
yeah, another main. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be the main character, but he's definitely gonna be in him.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
He likes working with them.
but yeah, let's talk about your third movie here.
We did my third.
Was it?
We're on
Oh
number
no,
we're on
oh
number
was it?
two.
Oh, number two. Oh, we're number two. Well, born up. All right.
Nice.
Wild robot. Go ahead.
Yeah, so dude, the wild robot, dude. I think Ernie would not. I don't think he would put it up so high because he watched it kind of haphazardly. But me, I got to
Yeah, which
watch
is
it.
sad. I didn't like that I did that, but please continue.
Yeah, I was I you know I love animation. Like I Across the Spider Verse was really awesome that we watched. I think I watched it like three times trying to see the the end of that movie. Uh, that's another story for another day. But I we watched this on IMAX, bro. I really liked it. I thought it was really well animated. The funny thing is, a lot of people have been saying that Flow is better than Wild Robot. I don't know if you've watched Flow. We watched it the other day. That
I don't
one's
even
really
know what
good
that
too.
is now.
Flow is a an independent. It got nominated for some of the Golden Globes. It was really well done. It's about a cat. You might like it. there's no dialogue. It's all just spoke or told through the actions of the animals. But Wild Robot, there's some talking in it, and there's a clever way that they do the talking. But I thought it was really well animated. Great. Let's see. Well, I don't know how to. I'm trying to think how I could sell it to you guys. It's a robot that gets stranded on an island, and then he has to adapt, and he finds this little gosling, and he's like kind of exploring the technology versus nature. So when I first heard about this movie, my niece actually said, "I don't want to watch this movie," because she said, I read the book and I didn't like it. I was like, "Really? The trailer looks pretty good." And she's like, "Nah, I don't want to watch it." And so
That's funny.
the choices that they did in the movie, I haven't read the book, but I hear that the choices in the movie are a lot better than the actual book, or like
Oh,
they
that's
improve or
funny.
expand
Yeah,
some
yeah.
things.
It's
So I
interesting because
told her, like, when I
usually
watched
the
it, I was like, "You got to watch this movie. It's really good." And she ended up loving it.
oh,
So
okay,
that was
that's
pretty
good.
cool.
That's so funny because usually it's the opposite, right? Like the books are better.
Yeah, I don't know why the book takes a slightly different turn, I guess, but um, Bryce Dallas Howard plays Ross, or not Bryce Dallas Howard. What's her name? But she did a good voice. The voice work. We had
It's not Lupita Nyong'o
sorry,
that plays it.
Lupita Nyong'o, and who's the other guy? Who plays the fox?
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro. There you go. Sorry, I don't know why I said Bryce Dallas Howard. But it was good, dude. DreamWorks Animation did a really good job. I walk away from it like loving that movie. Yeah, I think I end up buying it because it was so good. Yeah. Number two for me. What's your number two, bro?
Oh, nice. Number two for me is Deadpool and the Wolverine. So, I mean, we talked about this a little bit. I won't get too crazy into it. I thought
Go
this was a
crazy.
great movie. I was, huh?
Go crazy, bro. Go crazy.
No, I'm not gonna get too crazy because I think you've said enough. I think this movie fit perfectly in the Deadpool sort of like vein of movies. I think Hugh Jackman coming back just cemented everything that I've enjoyed in the past movies, which worked really well. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear my kid. She's having a little something happened. She's not doing. She's a little sick. But yeah. So the movie, I think it I think it did everything I wanted it to be, like, and more. Because I was watching the first two, and I think those movies just sort of helped me, like, appreciate this one when I ended up watching it in theaters. But it was a great movie. I'm glad that is my number two on this list. Let's get into the number one, dude. I'm excited for this
Nice.
one.
Dude, it's so funny that we both put this as our number one. Like the chances of us both number one. Can you guys guess what our number one was? Dune 2, bro. It came out at the very beginning of the year and it maintained that spot all the way through, which is crazy. That Timothy
Dude, please
Chalalalamain. So
get
this is
into it.
the follow. So it's funny because when the first Dune came out, it was during the pandemic and they didn't have this in theaters when I really wanted to watch it in IMAX. So I ended up setting up my projector and watching it when it dropped on HBO Max. And I really liked it. But the second movie is so much better than the first movie. Um, I think on all areas, right? Like because we really get to explore the world a lot more. Um, What did you think, bro? I know you put it as your number one.
I did, yeah. So, same thing. I think didn't I watch it with you? No, I didn't watch the first one. I watched the first one by myself at home. I just put a really big surround sound, and it was like not a big TV, but it was like a decent. And I remember watching
Yeah.
the first one and being like, "Man, this is such a great movie." Watched it like twice, and so I was pretty excited when Dune Part Two was going to come out, dude. I saw this movie two times in theaters, and I think I would
Nice.
have loved to have watched it a third time. And this is one of the reasons I was talking about wanting to read the books because I ended up watching it the second time with one of my really good friends, Elias, and his good friend, and
Oh,
they
cool.
both told me they've read the books before they've watched the movie. And so I was like, man, like they're like, dude, you got to read the books. Trust me. Before the new Messiah comes out and all this stuff, they were just selling it to me. So I'm like, dude, I gotta. I mean, I guess I got to do it. And I'm like, kind of like here and there. But I'm like, this movie was awesome. Like I could watch it, and it's just like, when like Lord of the Rings, right? We watch Lord of the Rings, and we're like, for me personally, Return of the King, I put that on, and I'm just like, this is just a great background movie. I know what's going on. I love it. Same thing with Dune,
Yeah,
bro. I could just
it's
do
great.
that. I could just watch it, and I'm like, solid movie. Love this scene, or love this part coming up. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just
Right.
like He's
Yeah,
just
there's so many moments,
it's a
right? Like
great
you're like,
great
oh, I want
movie.
to watch
Yeah,
that moment again. So good,
yeah,
dude. The one
but
thing
yeah.
I was really hoping, but obviously the story doesn't lend itself. I was really hoping Jason Momoa's character would have like come back as like a flashback or something, but it was not the case. But dude, everything they put into this movie was freaking awesome, dude. Just the building up to like writing of the sound sandworm. It's as silly as that sentence is to say. It was so epic, right? Like when he runs out and you just the IMAX version of this was so crazy because
Oh yeah,
it's so huge and you the scope of it, it just
yeah,
makes you feel like so small. Oh man, it was so
yeah, dude.
good, dude.
Javier Bardem, dude. Though,
He was great. Yeah.
I'll come in. What does he say? At least I'll come in. I can't say it right, but
Yeah.
like, it's so
Zendaya
sweet.
wasn't annoying. I thought she was gonna be annoying.
I
She's a
thought so
little
too.
annoying.
I thought she just kind of like was there. I think everything else was a
Rebecca Ferguson
solid.
was awesome. She was great.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. It's freaking Austin Butler was dope. He's kind of weird.
Butler
He's
was
like,
too.
what are we going to do? Oh, what are we going to do? Or whatever he says it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just the
but
scope and the way it was shot, dude, was freaking awesome, dude.
oh, it's a beautiful movie, dude.
Props to Denise, bro. Denis.
Yeah, dude.
Denis Villeneuve.
Danny. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's the number one for us, dude.
That's crazy.
Jason.
We both had number one.
Yeah, this is the solid number one. I'm glad this was a great choice for both of us. But Jason, please send us out, my friend.
Well,
The
thank you
end of the
guys
episode.
for sticking around. We made it to the end, and we've gone above and beyond the allotted time that Ernie has allotted for us
Ah,
because
yeah, exactly, dude. I only
he's
have a
gonna get in
time, and
trouble.
then that's it. I'm done.
Turns into a
Nah,
pumpkin.
we'll be
Nah.
fine. I'm gonna go try to console the daughter. She'll be fine. She's just sad. A little sad.
Oh, we'll give her a big hug and thank you
Thank you.
for being the what do they call it
Moderator. I don't know
the
something like that.
moderator
Let's say.
the runner of
I
the
don't know
screen
something
runner of the
amazing.
screen
I guess.
something amazing.
All
No,
right.
but yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you guys like this, give us a thumbs up, give us a little comment, tell us if we were wrong. Is this a bad top
Tell
10?
us what your top 10 are. Right? Like I
Yeah, we
would
want to
like
hear
to
your
see
top
that.
10. Maybe
That's the
there's
thing
movies.
about. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say there, when I was making this list, I was like, shoot, there's so many movies I haven't seen. Like I haven't seen Nosferatu, haven't seen, all these different movies. Like haven't seen that, haven't seen that. I want to see that. I want to see these movies. So let us know
No,
what your
yeah,
top tens were.
no, definitely. Yeah, that's the thing. It's fine, right? Like a review is a bias by all of us. Like we watch certain movies, whether it be for convenience, because of convenience, or because we like something. We're all biased, right? That's why reviews are these. These are our top 10. I want to know what your guys' top 10 because it's going to be far different than what we're used to. But yeah, thank you guys
That's right.
again.
All right, guys. Oh, there she is.
You can.
Uh,
I muted it so you guys on here.
okay. Well, have a good rest of your week, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, take
Have a
care.
good one. Bye.
Bye.